Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Explainer. I'm so glad you're joining us today because we are looking at something absolutely fascinating. We're stepping into the year 2026 to unpack an invisible revolution that is actively re-engineering elite American service businesses right under our noses. While some companies out there are still struggling with the exact same old back-office chaos, a totally new breed of service hubs is utilizing hidden AI automation to grow at an unprecedented scale. And today we're going to unpack exactly how they do it. Let's just pause and imagine something for a second. Picture literally peeling back the floorboards of your business. Instead of seeing that messy tangle of frantic emails, sticky notes, and stressed-out managers trying to coordinate shifts and supplies, you reveal a silent, self-optimizing architecture running underneath it all. A seamless system that manages the chaos before human eyes even perceive it. What if your operation essentially managed itself?
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our X-ray vision roadmap of the 5 hidden workflows we're going to unpack today. The silent administrative revolution, automating time and supplies, predicting perfect labor ratios, the invisible concierge layer, and finally, the central brain. Let's get started.
Kicking things off with workflow number 1, the silent administrative revolution. It's all about eliminating the chaos.
Human administration has officially become the absolute biggest bottleneck in the modern professional service sector. Think about traditional management, manual coordination. It's loud, it's full of friction, and honestly, it's a fantastic way to absolutely tank your profit margins. But then, look at the new standard, autonomous agents. We're talking about silent, self-correcting systems that handle client booking 24/7, and they do it without a single human lifting a finger. I mean, they never sleep, they don't double book, and yeah, they definitely don't need a coffee break.
Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer financial impact of this one single workflow. It's staggering. Top-tier medical and legal firms are seeing a massive 40% reduction in overhead. 40%! And that's purely by shifting to these self-correcting calendars. Just imagine reclaiming nearly half of your administrative spend just by letting an invisible AI layer handle the schedule. It's a total game changer.
Moving right along to workflow number 2, automating time and supplies, or what we call the physical layer.
Because digital scheduling is lightning fast now, physical goods have to keep up. So here's how this autonomous inventory loop actually plays out in the real world. Bam, second one. Real-time computer vision instantly spots that a consumable is running low. By minute 1, the AI has already triggered a reorder before a human staff member even blinks or realizes it's missing. The result? By day 1, the business experiences absolutely zero operational downtime. The physical environment literally, and I mean literally, stocks itself flawlessly.
Okay, workflow number 3, predicting perfect labor ratios. This is the human layer.
So your schedule is optimized, your supplies are perfectly stocked, but what about the most volatile variable of all, your workforce? Listen, the old wait-and-see approach to hiring, it is officially dead. Here in 2026, waiting for a massive rush of customers to arrive before realizing you're understaffed is just a recipe for absolute disaster. Instead, these advanced algorithms are constantly crunching local event data and historical patterns. They actually know if a conference is happening down the street or if a sudden weather shift is going to drive foot traffic, so they deploy staff before those peak surges actually hit.
So the crucial point here is that by completely eliminating reactive hiring, elite businesses are maintaining perfect labor-to-demand ratios. The staff they deploy perfectly matches the actual peak surges, totally blowing historical averages out of the water. And here's why this really matters to you. Solving this predictive staffing puzzle, it creates the exact operational bandwidth you absolutely need to tackle the next highly complex layer of the business.
Which brings us to workflow number 4, the invisible concierge layer. Let's talk about managing emotion. So, with logistics and labor totally locked down, the AI turns its attention to the emotional landscape. And this brilliantly illustrates what we call the invisible concierge. It uses deep sentiment analysis in real time. So, say a customer is getting hot under the collar on a call, the system intercepts that frustration instantly. It immediately routes them to a highly specialized de-escalation agent, or it might even automatically trigger an instant concession just to cool things down. So all that back-office chaos, it never reaches the client's ears, and your brand remains flawlessly polished at scale. Let's take a step back and see how this builds, because it really forms this incredible stacked architecture. Step 1 locks down those rigid logistics, your schedules, your inventory. Then, Step 2 builds on that to create dynamic flexibility by predicting human labor. And finally, Step 3 caps the whole thing off with emotional sentiment routing to protect the customer experience. Every single layer is completely reliant on the silent efficiency running right beneath it.
And finally, workflow number 5, the central brain, infinite scalability.
Now, managing the present is super vital, sure, but the ultimate power of this system is predicting the future. Every single booking, every reorder, every shift, and every sentiment score feeds right back into a core AI. This central brain essentially suggests structural pivots and identifies massive new growth opportunities based on macro trends. The end result? A single service location can just explode into a national franchise model with absolutely zero increase in administrative friction. I mean, this system literally scales itself.
All right, bringing it all home with Section 6, Surviving the 2026 Economy. This is the baseline requirement.
Look, understanding these workflows is fascinating, but actually applying them, that is what separates legacy businesses from the real industry leaders today. I want you to let this quote sink in for a moment. Embracing these invisible layers is no longer a luxury, but the baseline requirement for surviving the hyper-competitive 2026 service economy. If your competitors are operating with 40% less overhead, perfect inventory, predictive labor, and flawless customer sentiment, well, traditional management simply cannot compete with that. This level of scalability was once thought impossible, but today, it's just the standard. So I want to leave you with a final thought today. Take a hard look at your own operation. What hidden administrative friction is holding you back right now? Are you still relying on a wait-and-see approach, or are you actively building a silent architecture to predict your own success? It's time to peel back those floorboards and start optimizing. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep building, and I'll see you next time.